chicka wow wow. What's up, party people? Welcome to another episode of Cultivate Your Life. I am your hostess with the mostess. L as in the letter L, and key as in the key to your heart. Well, today is Monday, April 6th, the day after Easter, so I have a lot of questions. What did everyone do for Easter? What did your Easter look like? Do tell. Did you go to church? Did you spend it with family hunting for Easter eggs? Did you go and have the traditional Easter feast, which usually involves ham, deviled eggs, mashed potatoes, all of that? You know, as I'm going down the list of all the Easter traditions, it's making me realize how I miss. uh, well, I'm a meat eater, but as a lot of you may know, the Mr., my husband, Mike Kaufman, is not. So there was no me preparing a ham and mashed potatoes and gravy and veggies and all of that. Because who would I be preparing it for? Myself? I'm certainly not going to eat the whole thing. So what did I do? I went to church, and after going to church, went looking for a place that wasn't completely packed and went to a local restaurant in the downtown area where we had brunch. And then I spent the rest of my day at the pool with my dog, Chanel. So although it wasn't your typical Easter family day, that's what I did. So I want to talk to all of you. First of all, it's kind of relevant to what I want to talk about, but has anybody been following Artemis and what's happening with Artemis, flying to the moon and back? Just curious. I've been following that, and I've found it pretty interesting. I was reading some of the fun facts about basically that, Orion is now heading back towards Earth, and that, sorry, losing my train of thought. I was reading all the information about, they came 4,067 miles of the moon and marking it the closest approach. 21% of mysterious lunar far side will be illuminated from the crew's perspective. And I guess they are the ones that, did more than Apollo did now. And so it was a very exciting mission. They had been training for this mission for years. But obviously nothing can quite prepare a person for being 250,000 miles away from Earth, with no way to phone home. So I've just been kind of following the highlights. Their Easter message, the blackout that took place, that was crazy. And yeah, so I'm just curious if anybody has been following that journey. I've actually even seen some of the pictures that have been posted on like Nextdoor and stuff like that, which has been really interesting. You could actually see it crossing the moon, which was it was a really cool picture. And like I said, they're now headed back to Earth and expected to be back on Friday. So exciting stuff. The part I wanted to share is that it was a record-breaking distance. They said, well, I read this through the news, obviously. They traveled farther from Earth than anyone in human history as the mission ventured beyond Earth's orbit for the first time in more than 50 years. They broke the record previously set by Apollo 13 in 1970. And there's a lot of cool pictures and videos and stuff like that online. If you haven't seen them, I highly recommend that you do. It was really interesting to follow that journey. And it kind of aligns with what I wanted to talk about, which was last week and the full moon that was in place from, it's usually 3 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The full moon, it was in the sign of Libra, and it peaked around April 2nd and then continued to influence the week. So interesting. Oh God, sorry. Interesting. They said April 2nd because I definitely started to feel the effects Wednesday night. But anyway, so the Libra full moon emphasizes balance, relationships, and beauty, often highlighted the need to address harmony in partnerships or conclude projects. And so the moon sign Libra is often referred to as April's pink full moon. And what they mean by that are balancing personal desires with others, ending cycles and making fair decisions, and actional impact. It's a good time to review 6-month projects or improve communication in relationships, release emotional baggage. And the other influences, they said, the week features a shift towards intense energy with Mars moving into Aries on Friday, accelerating actions and desires. And this airy energy is ideal for assessing your life for balance and making adjustments that foster peace. Now, I got to tell you, I think I've shared with you, I was born in July. I'm a Cancer. And this full moon stuff definitely hit me hard, starting with I want to bear with me. I'm trying to make sure I choose the proper wording. So it started with a challenging conversation with my best friend who happens to be a Libra. And so it started with that. But I can be introspective. I can self-reflect. So while it hit hard, I listened, I processed, I took the information in for what it was, and followed the advice and suggestions that were offered in that conversation. So that same night, I had a conversation with my daughter, and as I'm having a conversation with my daughter, my newfound hairdresser is texting me and she's like, hey, confirming for tomorrow's appointment, 4 p.m. Mind you, it's not even 24 hours in advance that she's confirming. So just to give you some context. Anyway, so she's like, hey, just confirming 4 p.m. appointment tomorrow. It's like 7 o'clock in the evening. I'm like, yeah, sure, of course, no problem. And then she proceeds to send all these follow-up questions. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just now getting back to you about your messages. You wanted to send pictures. Okay, so you want this, and we can do whatever you want, love. And we're having this back and forth exchange. Okay, so you want this, not this, and what about this? And what do you want to do about that? Bear with me, I'm trying to eat a grape while I talk to you guys. Sorry about that. So, as we're having this back and forth exchange, it turns from that to, can you come next week? And I'm like, what? Like, we just had a back and forth exchange for the last, I don't know, it was probably a good 10 minutes. And so I respond with, no, I can't come back next week. Like, I need to do this ASAP, for the following reasons. I'm on spring break. I don't want to come, I don't want to have my hair like this for Easter, yada, yada. Next thing I know, she goes, okay, well, Wednesday's all I have, so you can't do it. I'm thinking this isn't a good fit. And I'm like, oh, wait, I didn't say the most important part. After the back and forth exchange, after confirming, yes, we can do whatever you want, and asking me to reschedule, she says, I don't have the color that you want, and I won't have it until Friday night. And I'm like, then why did you confirm? I'm confused. Why did you confirm? Tell me you could do whatever we wanted. I wanted. Have this back and forth text exchange, all to say, can't do it until Wednesday. What? So this is how my Wednesday night is going. So I'm like, okay. So then after that happens, my daughter and I are frantically trying to find a hairdresser that can help me, because I have a 4 p.m. appointment scheduled. And the reason that I am trying to keep this is because literally every day this week I have appointments. So I'm like, this is the only window that's available for me to do this. After that, I figured that out. And then another problem occurred in the Kaufman household. There was a lot of miscommunication, and then my other beauty girl that I had an appointment with had to reschedule me and separate the appointments out, and was like, do you have this? Because I can't do this, and da da da. And then my other self-care appointment wasn't available on time, so I had to wait for like 45 minutes. So I'm just wondering, did the full moon impact anybody else like this? Did you have any weird things that happened to you? So it's interesting. As I was talking to my daughter and all this was happening, I go, this doesn't seem normal. Is Mercury in retrograde? Is it a full moon? What's going on? I literally walked outside and saw the full moon, and I went, okay, that's what's happening. So then I looked it up and looked up the whole pink moon and looked up my sign. And it literally said, your living arrangements and lifestyle are where the pink full moon hits home this week. If a situation has been escalating over the past 6 months, the lunar light suggests it may be crunch time, either to consolidate a setup that's working well or to renegotiate a home, family, or living space related drama to achieve a harmonious result. Full moons are ideal for bringing closure, so whether the vibe at home is near perfect or you need to declutter by cleaning out items that remind you of past relationships. Now's a good time to get started. Since your sign is ruled by the moon, avoid going to extremes under the influence of the powerful lunar light. While there's always a firm yes or a strong no applicable to most situations, this month's full moon adds the option of a well thought out maybe. Literally what happened. Literally what happened to me. I just found it so interesting. And then I read about the pink moon, and it said, think pink. The pink full moon that lands on April 1st puts the focus firmly on partnerships and on finding balance with your closest personal and work-related connections. Strong bonds could get even stronger, while any not-so-certain relationships could consciously uncouple under the scrutiny of the full moon's glare. What is certain about the moon will not turn pink. The name is rooted in ancient Native American traditions that connect to nature. In this case, the pink flowers that were seen to bloom every year in April, around the time of the full moon. Will your close connection blossom under the lunar light? Where do you need more balance in your life? Find out what the pink full moon has in store for you. Yeah, so I found that to be very interesting, and I wanted to share that with you, my audience. So obviously hindsight is 2020, but if any of you had an interesting full moon week that you want to share with me, I would love to hear. I know that the people I talked to about this, my beauty self-care appointments, they were like, oh yeah, this happened and that happened, and oh, it all makes sense now. And so I'm not just pulling this out of the air. There have been studies about the full moon, that the full moon impacts all of us in different ways, depending on you, your personality, what you believe, your sign. And if this is what I always like to tell people that don't believe. If you think about it from this aspect, there are people that get happy during the sunny spring weather, with the exception of we allergy sufferers, right? But then there's the people that don't do well when it's raining. There have been studies that show when it's gloomy and rainy, a lot of people get into a depression and get into a funk because the weather is impacting them in a negative way. And not for everybody, because there's some people out there that love the rain and love staying home and watching the rain and watching movies and stuff like that. But there are a percentage of people that do better when the sun is shining, because vitamin D, right? Vitamin D feeds us, feeds our body and soul, and gives us energy. And sorry, this is why I was trying to eat a grape to help my mouth. So think about that next time the full moon hits, if you notice any unusual changes. And some are more subtle than others. Some of them are subtle and insignificant, and you may not notice, other than like somebody cutting you off on the freeway, or being more angry, or picking a fight with you for no reason, or it might be your partner wanting to be more romantic. I know for me, that's how it affects me, because I'm a moon child. So I normally get happy and romantic and lovey-dovey and all that sort of thing. So thought I would share some insightful information about the moon and Artemis and current events that impact us, and how do we adapt, overcome, pivot, something I'm always talking about, right? I'm always talking about, how do I adapt and pivot when these things come up? Well, I ended up adapting and pivoting and overcoming and finding a new hairdresser within less than 24 hours by just being committed and determined. And it turned out she was more affordable, closer to home, and I helped out a single mom in the process. Shout out to Jen. Yeah, as for the other stuff, stay tuned. I don't know what's going to happen with the other stuff. Still sitting on my feelings and processing that one, quite honestly. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. To all my loyal listeners out there. Creative Kara, thank you for being a loyal listener. Guys, check out her page. She's on all the platforms. lovemyartist.etsy.com, Linktree, Love My Artist. She's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and she has everything you could possibly imagine. And you can follow her artwork. I mean, it's amazing. She gives tutorials on how to draw, how to paint, how to color, how to... It's insane, all the stuff that she does. I'm just like, I wish I just had a quarter of that talent, Creative Kara. So shout out to her. But she also has several things on her page, from clothing, artwork, painting, shoes, video montages, you name it, she's got it. Jeff Pata, namaste. I hope that you are well. Haven't seen you, haven't talked to you. Haven't even seen you on social media, so I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyway, thank you for being a loyal subscriber. Lisa Roberts Curbello, shout out to you. Thank you for being a loyal listener and subscriber. Hope to see you at the upcoming girls' jewelry party, pre-Mother's Day party. Up next, Mike Kaufman, thank you for being a loyal subscriber. Appreciate that. I feel like Kyle Few, commitment to love, love is a verb. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber. I don't know if you're continuing to be a loyal listener, but if you are and you're liking and commenting, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And to all my other loyal listeners out there, Travis, Dory, Andrew, not subscribers, but loyal listeners, Rhonda, several others out there that secretly watch, listen, follow. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for spending time with me on this Mindful Monday until Wisdom Wellness Wednesday. Before I forget, remember to hit that like button, the thumbs up button, and remember to comment and or share. It helps the algorithm and it helps me. Until next time, ciao for now.